They say that blood is thicker than water, but what does that truly mean? Is it a bond unbreakable by time, or just a fragile thread that can be severed by greed, jealousy, and betrayal? In the village of Umuagu, two sisters, Nnenna and Adaugo, were once inseparable. But when love, envy, and power came between them, their fates took very different paths. Nnenna, the elder, was known for her beauty and kindness, while Adaugo, though equally beautiful, carried an envious heart. When Nnenna fell in love and married a wealthy and kind-hearted trader, Adaugo's jealousy festered. She felt abandoned, overlooked, and overshadowed by her sister's fortune. Though she too married, her home was filled with bitterness, for her husband was neither rich nor loving. And so, she harbored resentment toward Nnenna, believing that fate had been unfair to her. One fateful season, tragedy struck. Nnenna's husband fell gravely ill and passed away, leaving her and her infant daughter, Amarachi, vulnerable. Seeing her sister's misfortune, Adaugo, instead of offering comfort, saw an opportunity. She invited Nnenna to live with her, promising to care for her and the child. Grateful and unaware of the malice in her sister's heart, Nnenna accepted. For a while, things seemed fine. But Adaugo, driven by resentment, slowly revealed her true nature. She treated Nnenna as a mere servant, making her toil endlessly while she enjoyed the comforts of her household. Amarachi, the innocent child, became an object of scorn. But Nnenna endured, believing that one day, her sister would soften. Then came the ultimate betrayal. One night, under the cloak of darkness, Adaugo conspired with a powerful dibia, sorcerer, Uzomoko, offering Nnenna's life in exchange for wealth and power. The ritual was cruel, and as Nnenna's life was taken, her last words were not curses, but a sorrowful whisper, "May my spirit watch over my daughter. May she never suffer as I have." With her sister gone, Adaugo claimed everything. She told the villagers that Nnenna had fled, abandoning her child. She raised Amarachi not as her own, but as a servant, beating her, starving her, and reminding her daily that she was unwanted. Amarachi, however, bore it all with silent strength, never knowing the true fate of her mother. Years passed, and Amarachi grew into a young woman, kind and graceful despite her suffering. But Adaugo's wealth and power did not bring her peace. Whispers of strange occurrences began to spread. Shadows moved where there were none. The wind carried voices only she could hear. And then, one night, as she sat before her shrine counting her riches, the fire in the heart flickered and turned blue. The air grew thick. The walls trembled. A gust of wind sent ashes spiraling into the air, and then, she heard it. A voice, soft yet filled with sorrow and anger. "You betrayed your own blood, Adaugo." Adaugo turned, her body trembling. Standing before her was the spirit of Nnenna, her eyes glowing with an otherworldly light, her presence filling the room with an overwhelming force. "You thought you could take my life and silence my soul?" Nnenna's voice echoed through the chamber. "You thought I would leave my child unprotected?" A scream tore from Adaugo's lips as she scrambled backward, but the spirit of her sister advanced. The shadows wrapped around her like invisible hands. The fire roared, casting monstrous shapes against the walls. And then, the pain began. An invisible force struck Adaugo across the face, and instantly, her flesh began to rot. She clutched her cheeks, feeling the decay spreading. The stench of death filled the air. She collapsed to the ground, writhing in agony. "You will live with the suffering you inflicted upon my daughter," Nnenna decreed. "You will bear the wounds of your own cruelty. The world will see you for what you truly are." The spirit of Nnenna vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving Adaugo to her fate. The once proud woman, who had commanded fear and respect, was now a pitiful wretch, her face marred by rot, her body frail and weak. She stumbled back to the house, her heart pounding. Her daughter, Igo, woke up at the stench that now clung to her mother. "Mama, what is that smell?" she asked, recoiling as she saw her mother's rotting face. Adaugo wept, falling to her knees. "The spirits, they have cursed me," she whispered, her voice shaking. Ego stepped back in horror. "You stink, mother. Stay away from me." The house that had once been filled with riches now reeked of decay and misery. Ego, unable to bear the sight, fled from her mother, leaving her to her suffering. And then came Amarachi. The very girl Adaugo had tormented. She stood in the doorway, gazing at the woman who had stolen her mother's life. But where others saw horror, she saw something else, pity. She knelt beside Adaugo, gently taking her hand. "Auntie, we need to clean your wounds," she said softly. "If we don't, the infection will spread." Adaugo's breath hitched. She could not believe it. After everything, after the beatings, the cruelty, the torment, Amarachi was showing her kindness. Tears streamed down Adaugo's rotting face. You forgive me." "I forgave you a long time ago," Amarachi replied, smiling. "But now, you must live with what you have done." Ego, witnessing the grace of the girl they had wronged, fell to her knees as well. "Amarachi, we are sorry. For everything. Please, forgive us." Amarachi nodded. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is about choosing love over hatred. From that day forward, Adaugo and Ego, overwhelmed with guilt and gratitude, began to treat Amarachi with love. The house, once filled with bitterness, became a place of healing. But Adaugo's wounds never fully healed, a permanent reminder of the price of betrayal. And so, in the village of Umuagu, the story of the two sisters lived on. A tale of love, jealousy, betrayal, and redemption. A warning that while power may be taken by force, true peace can only be found in love and forgiveness. Hope you enjoyed the story.